to the logistics, because sales famous always famous for giving sometimes not the best forecast, because they are very optimistic. They always if they can sell 100 units, that always they want to give 125, or sometimes person to person differs, and maybe that person will give 150. So because that they want to try that is why they are giving that. Because then what happens is that the entire chain works on a wrong figure. You will bring raw material according to that. So the logistic guy will give a forecast. He also will add another percentage and give a forecast to the next person, maybe your overseas agent. So down the line, the entire chain work on a stressed up. So there's a cost involved. So again, this logistic knowledge connects with finance. If you have higher buffer stocks, if you have higher buffer stocks of finished goods or raw material or packing material or whatever in the chain, so which adds a cost to your product, final product. So you need to have that competency competence in the sense in-depth knowledge in how it works. So that is why I have put that in under competency. So finance, HR, and logistics. So you need to have an understanding how it works. So when it comes to ASM or TSO, frontline sales guy scenario, again, so it is better now if you have frontline sales guys here. So read about logistics. It starts from how you load your vehicle, how you plan your collection from your company warehouse to distributor warehouse, and the space allocation in your, sometimes maybe you are sending an order to your company warehouse and sending a lorry which that order cannot be loaded. So but better you be aware and study and go into detail and understand how the entire chain works. So there are a lot of things in logistics which we'll try to discuss if we have some questions, if you know, if you don't have much clarity. So I go to manage time also. So this is how you need to have competencies in finance, HR, and logistics. Then also you need to have exposure to supply chain. Why I've mentioned here is more than the competency, you need to know how it works again. So in my experience, just to share with you, I have worked for the same company, agriculture-based products exporting unit. So I was able to go and study how the backward integration programs. How you procure your products, and how you plan your plantations from actually that subsidiary works from farm to fork kind of a situation. So you need to understand the entire supply chain. How you plan your crop, and from there to the harvest and process, warehousing, production kind of thing. So today, now your time. So I'm talking about another 5 years time or 3 years time, when you come up in your ladder, so there will be different challenges. It's better you build this knowledge. So you start studying about supply chain of agriculture products, fast-moving consumer goods, the fabrics. So understand the supply chain. I don't have much facts to relate that to service sector. So it is very important for you to you have exposure to supply chain and also legal framework. And any business, I mean, when you are getting qualification that there are business, I mean, it's an area where the business law that you need to understand, but basic knowledge, like if you are maybe a frontline sales guy who is selling FMCG product, you need to understand what will happen if you sell a outdated product, expired product, the legal consequences, how you need to avoid, and if you store improperly, and if that harm the product, what are the legal consequences if something goes wrong with the product, with the consumer. So that you need to be aware. But a few years before, that was not there, though it was supposed to be. But now companies are have training programs on those lines. And further, when you are going up, if you are an area manager, you need to understand how the distributor agreement works, and what are the legal implications there, and how say a distributor or customer default, how the legal system comes in there, how the court acts, and what are the requirements that you need to make sure. So that kind of things. But and also in the same time, HR related legal matters that when you become a sales leader, you need to know, and especially you need to start learning all those things at very early stages. So if you are a salesperson, again, I would say start reading the ingredient list, and also Google and see what is the legal requirement that you can see. There are a lot of tools that you can study on these areas, and you see now you have the traffic lights regulations, and you go to the agency authority websites and understand what are the requirements, what are the levels of sugar that you need to have to keep at green level of a food product. So please start learning on those things, those areas. So you need to have exposure. Then the next level operation circle. Next level operation circle, in the sense you need to work with, say, if you are a sales GM or director, other leadership and the board and your MD, and need to understand how the entire thing works. How because maybe sometimes previously we have seen sales manager at a lower level where the entire operational circle works separately. So it's not good for the company, not good for the business, and as well as people. So it's very important for you to prove yourself and have that understanding, have that thinking in you to show, and get into that board, that room, the operational level room. That exposure is very, very important. Maybe you are at a SM level or GM level, maybe not at a director level, but you can prove yourself and get in there to discuss and understand at the same time, to give your feedback. So that exposure is very, very important. Then the values, this is the most important column. I won't say the others are not important, but a very, very important column in this the entry qualification which I have mentioned. I don't need to go explain much about these points, because when you say integrity, you know what it is, and honesty and transparency, you know what it is, because this is, when you say honesty and transparency, not only for your superiors, not only for your company, it's general, I mean, to your people, your team, your partners, your distributors, whoever, all stakeholders, this transparency need to be there. And when you say respect environment, Again, it's 360 degree. You need to respect everyone. Like, I mean, not that like school days that you stand up and you get up and respect, you show your respect. No, but say you're the person who clean your office. There's a self-respect that depending on the relationship that you need to have a respect for him for the job what he is performing. That kind of a respect. And also when you say respect the law of the country, respect the policies of the company, your organization. So all these things comes into this bucket. I again remind you, it is very easy at this level when you start filling these buckets. So you understand what environment that you are in. Sometimes you can add value. Maybe your environment may be not the level that you expect. Then you can take charge. You can take leadership to improve that. Right. Then the empathy and caring. Again, it's a very common area, generic area. You always now say, if I explain how empathy counts to a say sales area manager level person, maybe we know always their subordinates work all over the country, away from home, and his personal issues, personal problems that you need to take as your own. Like, I mean, you need to understand that his issue and try to give him solutions. Help him to find solutions. Maybe certain solutions that you can't give, but you can help him to find solutions. And caring need to be there, especially when you are running a very high-speed sales operation. It's an area where you need to be very, very mindful that you need to care for your people. So it's a must that we will discuss further later. Then the ethical behavior. When you say ethical behavior, so it's again a vast area. It's not only how you behave with your superiors, but also your subordinates and your behavior outside your company, your official assignment. It's very important. How you behave in your community, your neighborhood, right? I mean, that is, if you have a problem there, it can one day get to know your subordinate, because sales is a again, I want to say, not like any other leadership assignment. You are working with people, you are working with community, you are working with traders, your customers are all over the country. So your behavior as a driver, your behavior as a spectator in a match, your behavior as a buyer in the supermarket. So all those things matters, and especially this is very important as a sales leader. So I have almost consumed 1 hour. It's not that I have gone out of control of my time management. I will spend more time on first and second slides. So that is why I want to go into detail. I hope you all understood that. So if you have any questions, I can answer. I can give my answers. So discuss, more than answers. These are all, there are right or wrong answers, but you can discuss. I can see 113, almost 116 guys here. So was I audible?
Sir.
Yes. Okay. I asked that question since I didn't have any response. So can you? Yeah. Yeah, what is the advice you can give to someone who is new to logistic industry and travel skills he improve over the okay. This Krishan is asking about the logistics related question, what he need to learn, improve and develop. Again, Krishan, my answer is in this context, logistics, you are selling logistics, I mean you are in logistics or FMCG or service, any service industries, these are all common. Like this as I mentioned before, these are the entry qualification for the sales profession. So it's all common, but later, as I mentioned now, under exposure, here I have under competencies, I have mentioned about logistics. So you need to be very thorough in that area, and at the same time, industry related things that you need to learn and master. But these areas, those I discussed here, were all common. Okay. Any other questions? Feel free to answer. Feel free to ask questions because that will make very interesting for everyone. Otherwise, listening to one person is not that easy. Whether you are the lecturer or whoever, it's for others. It's not that easy. You are welcome, Krishan. Thanks for your feedback. So, yeah. Okay, right. So I will expect more questions on the move. So I'll quickly go through the sales leadership personality model. So I mentioned the previous slide. So it's the entry qualification. If I name it as raw material, so say this is the machine that you are going to produce the product. Say if those attributes are flour, this is the oven which you are going to make a cake. So this personality is very, very important. In other terms, even if you have all those attributes 100%, that if you don't send across this machine, that you will not see a proper leadership for your people. So if I will quickly go through effective decision making. These are again very common, straightforward things. I expect you all to ask questions, then we can make it more interesting. And any subordinate will love to have their leaders make quick decisions. It's very, very important, and also accurate decisions. And so the leadership, if you take, say, for a price increase for that matter, or say there's a product which is already stocked up in the marketplace, that you need to the sales have requested a promotion. So if you are sitting on that decision, if you don't take that decision quickly, that irritates your team, and that's not good for your personality. Maybe a very simple decision, even sometimes leaders tend to take time. So it's quick and effective, quick and accurate decision making is very, very important, especially for salesperson, because your team is out there in the market. They are in the field. So certain decisions are detrimental for them to perform. Maybe allowance, maybe a communication plan, maybe a campaign. So you need to take very quickly, but at the same time, you need to have proper analysis, adequate pre-analysis, because because we also have seen people take quick decisions, but they change. So once you take, say you have taken a decision to transfer a person from one area to another with a request of your area manager. So you need to adequately analyze why, the rationale behind that, and you need to be convinced and take that decision, and that need to be a firm decision which you are not going to change, and also transparent. And there's a lot you should be able to explain your team why and how you took that decision. So that explains the entire thing in this column. So you need to take quick decision, because if you say due to whatever reason you need to transfer a person. So I'm going into examples of okay. There were a few questions coming up. I will okay. Let me. I'll go through. I'll take a minute to read the question. I think this question is a very interesting and very good question. I will answer that. I'll take that question after this slide. So the structures, how structures work, HR work under finance, and marketing work under different departments. I will take that. Give me little time to go there. Okay. Thanks for sending that question. Right. So then you need to be intelligent and smart. Again, this element is very important. You can have all those attributes, but if you are, this is very much similar to the street smartness, so-called street smartness. You need to be a rational thinker. To be a rational thinker, you need to be intelligent. The market intelligence. This is not only the market intelligence. This is not market intelligence. You need to be intelligent.